Hi, Zero Hit Points. I played Gwent.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's the week of July 15th. I'm Ryan Miller, and he played Gwent, I guess. We already did a Gwent show, but Matt Amberg, everybody.
I did it. I played some Gwent. Okay, diving into this real quick.
Are you sure? Unspoken rule around these parts, if you've talked about a game before, you can't do it again.
That's right, and we get spanked if we do.
That's true.
This is a extension. I don't know. This is Zero Hit Points, game show, video games, whatever.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This is Welcome to Zero Hit... No, I did that part. This is the one where we talk about video games.
That's it.
You watch one during the week and get back to us and let us know. No, that's the other one.
We're getting there.
Speaking of which, actually, you know what? Let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we get too far along.
Yeah, that's right. Get the dusting done.
You may have noticed last week the Book Club for Movies show did not come out. Unbeknownst to me, it was my birthday on Thursday. And
but knownst to everybody also except for me.
Knownst to everybody else, my wife flew in just a bunch of people. So my brother, I've told the quick story before, but my long-lost brother was in town. And my sister and her husband came into town. And I guess that's it. But that's a lot of people. They have 4 kids. So, hey.
So you had like 100 people there.
Yes, it's a bunch. Yeah. In fact, and you know the funny story... I'll tell you the funny part of this whole thing.
Oh, good. The funny part's my favorite part.
I could tell something was going to happen. I didn't know what exactly. And I do, like, if I know if a surprise coming, I'm not going to go out. The years of me waking up early to look through all my Christmas presents has passed. It takes too much effort, and it's funner the other way around.
All you know is she got super bloated, and she was hiding something.
No.
I don't know.
I got super bloated, actually. Was the weird thing.
Oh, man. The other night, tell you what.
You got super bloated?
Yeah, I ate too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I
don't know why I didn't know where that was going. I guess I should have. That should have been my first.
Okay, go. Sorry.
Oh, yes. So I'm at work, and the internet went off, and when the internet goes off, my cameras send me a thing that something's wrong. Only one of the cameras did it. So I opened up that app, and I see my niece and nephew playing in my kids' room. So I'm like, oh. So I found out they were going to be in town. I guess kind of, it could have been a neighbor kid. We know a redhead. But then I started getting notifications from my router that unknown devices were joining my network, and they had the name of my brother-in-law. So that was spoiled. Figured that out, whatever. Got home, went upstairs, acted surprised a little bit, and then told them how I knew everything. Then my long-lost brother shows up, and it turns out my wife had reserved a bunch of dune buggies for us out. I live near the Pismo Dunes, or the Guadalupe Dunes, depending on how you want to put it, which was where the second Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed.
Yeah.
You remember Johnny Depp wakes up and has to... Or wait, is that the second? Maybe it's the third.
He's on the desert island in the second one. Right? He gets wrecked or something. I don't remember.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's limbo. He's figuring out how to revive or come back to life or whatever.
Right.
Filmed near my house. So we went out there. She had reserved a thing to drive some dune buggies.
That could be the third one. I don't
like
remember.
A month ago, she was like, hey, or no, it was like a week or two ago. She's like, hey, I started a new job. She's like, your check wasn't deposited. She was a week early, so it shouldn't have been, but that caused me to check the account and see that she had purchased dune buggies. So that surprise was ruined. But I acted surprised for a little bit and then was like, hey, this. And there was actually another one that I can't remember at this point, but it was ruined. Trust me. So that was my birthday weekend. We did go drive dune buggies. People have been here just all the time. I haven't had a spare second. I didn't watch Sunshine, which was going to be our movie for this week, but also I didn't edit the movie from last week. So you're still going to get a movie this week. It's going to be upstream color. Sunshine will be
next
week after. And who knows, we've vaguely spoken. I said 2 words to you about how I don't have Sunshine, but I do have 2 rest of the show movies if you wanted to do a quick book club, but we'll figure that out at the end of this show, which is the one we do about video games. You played Gwent. See how I brought it all back around?
No, it was great. I'm circled in. I'm familiar with where your head is at right now.
You've played the game Gwent, so you can fill in this part of the show.
I played Gwent. So I actually dug into the deck building, because I had gotten enough of the whatever, played enough, whatever. I had enough cards. So I decided...
Go listen to the other show. It's all about it.
Yeah. So I decided to actually get into the deck building a little bit. I'm going to build a deck that in my mind makes perfect sense. We'll see if this works out.
That already doesn't make sense to me.
No, and I somehow have created a deck that apparently seems to work moderately well. I've won a few online battles, and those ones that I've won by a pretty handy margin.
Okay.
And these are all people that, according to like the things, are supposed to be higher level than me. So I don't know if they're just boners trying out new stuff, or if I'm just good at the game.
It seems crazy. Well, I wonder if we've just stumbled into a player base that's very uninvolved with the game that they enjoy.
I love it. Let me get just slightly more involved so I can be the king of everything.
Involvement is our strong suit. We involved in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, and look at how all of it comes out very well.
Mm-hmm.
On time, even.
Nobody knows anyways.
You were right on time.
Was I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And out of nowhere.
I guess I was, because I forewent everything else. Like, there's no... Did I finish an agenda? I guess I kind of did, because I kind of played one game. Whatever.
Okay, what did you play?
Who cares?
One game?
That's all the Gwent? Fit to print? Okay.
Yeah. No, it was just cool. I made a deck. I can't tell you what all's in it because I don't remember, but I enjoy that. Like,
sounds about right.
I enjoy that the synergy that you have to kind of put together, and the thing I really like about it is I do really like the way the game builds. So the more games you play, once you get to or rounds in a game, once you get to the third round, you could be down to 2 cards. You could be down to 1 card. I don't know. It's fun.
For as long as it took us to grasp, which I can't believe we didn't talk about this last time, as long as it took us to grasp the passing mechanic in the game.
Yeah, which I just feel like an idiot for now.
Well, it's become one of the more compelling parts of it, because you're dealt a finite amount of cards and you can play as many as you want, but if you get ahead or behind, you should start considering whether or not you pass. Once you pass, you're passing for that entire round. So it gives the other player the opportunity to play as many cards as he wants to win the round, but if he does that, he'll be at a deficit for the other 2 rounds. So it does create this really cool, I can't even think of an analog in a different game, where you're trying to decide, well, am I far enough ahead? Maybe I'll pass even though he can beat me,
right?
Or am I so far behind? Screw this, it's not worth trying. It's a super fun part of that game.
It is,
Yeah.
and I have used that to my advantage a few times now, which has been good.
It's amazing when it works out too, because you're like, okay, you're gonna back off, and the other guy's like, I got this. You feel like the other guy's doing what you did for the first year or month you played this game, which was, oh man, now I'm gonna mow him down,
right?
And you screw yourself for the rest of the game.
And yeah, and that's actually kind of what has happened a few times, where the deck that I have is kind of a built, like the characters really build off each other. So all my points kind of go up based on what other cards are doing. And I've got a few cards that are outright just, okay, I'm going to dump this on this card, but then it also does this. Like, I have a card that it has an attack to it, and then when it's killed, it gets to you get to add up 2 points to one of your allied units.
Nice.
Weird. There's also a great card where you could drop and it goes, I think it's on death, but I could be wrong, but it has 6 damage to them and 6+ for you. In any case,
that sounds like a good card.
It's a good card. I've had a few people come out, and I lay my card down. I use if I'm the first player, you get the immediate
advantage.
Point boost,
I forget what they call that.
The stat boost. So I use that. I'll drop a bigger card, put that out there, and then they come out and they just go ham. Like, they start getting huge cards and throwing more cards down. And I end up just playing really, really simple passive cards that I don't care about and let them go for a few turns. And
that's smart, man.
And
you see them going ham, you let them.
Yeah, and then
that's cool.
Like, I end up with 12, 13 points, and they're at 24. Okay, we'll have fun, because I'm also gambling that you shot your load at the beginning thinking, I gotta get out of the gate and win this, so I'm gonna drop a bunch of big cards, and he's gonna drop a bunch of big cards too. And so I don't know, but
You're getting into the headspace of the game. Like that's where it's made. Like if that kind of stuff doesn't exist, it's actually I've played a whole lot of these because I've spoken of my brother-in-law before. He's the one that's big into tabletop and really good at many of them.
Sure.
One of the games we've been playing is, I guess, not technically a card game. There are card-ish pieces to it, but it's called One Night, I think, or One Night Wolf Night, One Night. Not ringing a bell. Can't help me out with this one.
I got nothing. One night and it's.
Let me double
Alhambra.
check here.
Wolfenstein. You've been playing Wolfenstein First Blood.
One Night. It's either called One Night Ultimate Werewolf or Ultimate Werewolf is the name of the ultimate version of the game called One Night. I don't know. But it's much of that, 90% of that play space. And I think I've talked about this on the show before, actually, because I played it in Idaho once with my wife and her family. But it all exists outside the game. It's all what you do after the fact. It sets up a framework, and that framework is so compelling that that's what Gwent does. That's what you're finding. I feel like that's where we're really liking that game.
Yeah, no, it's cool, and I like the. Unlike Magic, and again, I'm not bagging on it. I don't know how to play it.
No,
I mean, I hate it, and I think it's dumb, and I think everybody who plays
garbage.
it is an absolute garbage trash person that should just go sit in a dispenser of some type. Garbage.
Completely joking.
Whatever.
Still joking.
Okay, you can. But it just makes so much sense to me how the cards work together, and then thinking about how to play cards against their cards, not knowing what their next play is going to be and hoping that it's either going to be really benign or not affect you in some way so that you can lay down. It's fun, man. I have a lot of fun with that. And then trying to anticipate, okay, if I do this, everybody else on his field, if that one dies, that guy's going to get a bonus. Okay, so I need to kill this. Like, I actually like that. It's fun. Yeah. I'm not great at it, but I enjoy it.
You know what I haven't checked?
Your pulse.
No, I don't even know how that's funny, but I feel like, no, I haven't checked the local capabilities of that game, because you can see everybody's cards. There's not, I guess you can't see your
what's in your
opponent's
hand.
So. Yeah, so there probably isn't a local, and that wouldn't work type thing. Okay, whatever. Well, any other games you want to talk about?
Got to the bottom of that.
Yep.
Just
That's
quickly, I actually will mention Dying Light. I just got to on and off here. I'm kind of just picking up a mission now and again. I just played a mission that may have been the single most tense thing I've ever played in a video game.
Hey.
This was a horrifying experience that I am probably going to have to go through again. And I don't know that it's going to get better. But you get to a point where you find out that these when it gets dark, there are these zombies that have like glowing red eyes, and they track you, and so they're fast, and they can jump up on the buildings and stuff. So they will chase you, and you really have to try and like evade the hell out of them. So you end up in a mission where you go to one spot, they show up, you immediately have to try and evade them. Like right away. You don't even get like a breathing, like a second, a moment to breathe. You just run now. Which direction? Okay, the way I'm running is the wrong direction.
Right.
They're behind me. Don't go that way. Okay, so let's go the long way around. Great. So you start going, and the thing is, it's dark, and there are still zombies all around you. So you have to consider that, and then you make noise, all the zombie hordes are like, oh, there you are, we're going to come after you. Plus, you've got the screaming idiots who are now going, oh, I see you, and I'm finding you because I got radar. And you finally get to the safe zone. And I was shaking. I was going, that was awesome and awful, and I never want to do it again. And the next mission, they're like, hey, you need to go that way, and it's still dark.
So this is within a mission still. This isn't just you stumbled into a scripted thing or something.
Yeah, this was part of that. Like, it's the story.
Hey, that's cool.
Because if it was a side mission, I would have just said, no, I'm done. That nighttime horde thing, man, That is tense.
That's cool.
That is, yeah, it was horrifying, man. I'm like, I was seriously, I was on the edge of my seat, like trying to figure out, like, I'm looking at where I am. I'm looking at all the zombies. I'm looking at the buildings. Okay, is that up a grade that I can't jump up? Because I don't really have time to try and futz with it. I either have to be there or not. Okay, I got up there. I was able to get up on the roof. Now that one below me, if I jump on that, it's wood, so I'll probably fall through it. That's not a good idea, but I can't do that. I don't know what to do. And like, it was great. It was a truly
awesome.
great moment in video games for me. That was
Sounds like something I would have enjoyed seeing live.
Yeah, that was watching me poop a little bit. There were just like
I take it back.
There were little nuggets here and there.
Thank you for your nuggets of wisdom, sir.
That's
about
what they are.
Dying Light.
Yeah, tell me of your homeworld, Usul.
There it is. Did you get halfway through that and thought, I can't say that again, I've got to think of something different, and then just gave up, and we're like, nope, that's what it is.
There is never a wrong time for a Dune reference, and
okay,
that's how I feel.
Until the new movie comes out, I guess we'll find out.
There will never be a wrong time, and the fact that if they don't have Chani actually say that, I will just be so upset.
Chani Katane?
Chani Katane, that's correct. Played by current year Sean Young again.
Sexiest Dune character. I didn't play nothing. Nowhere.
Just real quick. Fade Rotha is the sexiest Dune character.
Okay, so I'm glad you had that on.
He was played by Sting. Let's just go ahead and
You should have said Sting is the sexiest Dune character.
Well, because that's not true, and right after him is Stilgar. So, anyways,
Stilgar. Sting doesn't so much play a character as he just stings while he's in the area.
Yeah, only when he's Sting. When he takes off his Sting mask and he's just Gordon Sumner, he's like,
Gordon.
Hello, I'm Gordon.
Who doesn't know that, or sorry, who only knows that because of the Dana Carvey skit? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
Okay. I have to look that up. It's been a while. Remember when you played Super Mario Run? You reminded me about it?
Yeah, I do remember this.
So I had Grand Designs. I downloaded the new Dr. Mario game, which is out, which I have heard scary things about. So
wait, Dr. Mario on what? On
mobile.
Oh.
Nintendo latest mobile
Is that
venture.
A free one also?
Yep. I mean, that's part of the scary things I've heard is that there are countdown timers and whatnot. So
sure. Yeah.
There's no, I mean, Super Mario Run at least had a one-time purchase thing, and I found that well worth it. If they're introducing games that have you can pay money infinitely for this thing, yeah, forget it. Absolutely 100% forget it. But I will find out. I didn't get to play that this week. I also downloaded Teppen. You heard about this?
No.
It's the Capcom card battler.
I get it.
I don't still. Did you get what?
Well, it's like Tekken, except it's Tappen.
Is Tekken Capcom?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I don't.
No, we don't.
Look,
I didn't play that either.
I don't play video games.
I know,
all right?
I know. I'm sorry.
I've never even studied them. I went to college for very different things. Psych. Never went to college. Boom.
Oh, joke's on me. No, I've
Bandai Namco. I knew that.
Okay. At one point, I was waiting for Super Mario Run to release new levels, and I would purchase them because I really did enjoy that game.
Sure you did.
There have been numerous updates, and I just never checked back in. You talked about it, so I did finally check back in. And there are new levels that are unlocked by completing different goals. You know about these already? The star levels?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't know those existed. I have only unlocked, I think, 6 of the 9. And I'm finding the challenges perfectly at that level. I'm enjoying them. I'm enjoying unlocking the levels. I still haven't even played any of the new levels, so I'm having fun with that game all over again.
Nice.
And that's really all I have.
Cool.
I apologize.
Dr. Mario Run.
Yeah, we'll find out if I run from Dr. Mario next week. On 0 hit
Nice.
points. No, so
You brought that back around again. I'm loving this. Today is
yeah,
a
it's
good
good.
day.
I bring things back around in the hopes that this show is over 30 minutes this week. The only news items I grabbed, didn't read. We're just going off headlines here. Are you ready?
I've loved everything about this. Yes.
Have you ever in your life played a TurboGrafx 16 game?
Yes, I have.
Which one?
Bonk's Adventure.
Hold on. Let me look it up here. Bonk's Revenge?
No, it was Bonk's Adventure. Was the
Okay,
first one.
you're 0 for 1 then. Keep going.
Maybe. I don't know. It was Bonk. It was a Bonk game.
Aren't we all?
I think Splatterhouse was TurboGrafx.
Splatter, doing a search here. If it is, it's not on this. I'm referring to the TurboGrafx Mini. Sorry, TurboGrafx 16 Mini. I'm sorry.
You better get it right or pay the price.
Final game list and release date. 50 games total, coming out March 19th, 2020. Any of these ringing a bell of the games 2, 3 possibly you have ever played? Alien Crush, Victory Run, Blazing Lasers, Newtopia, Dungeon Explorer, R-Type.
Dungeon Explorer, R-Type.
R-Type I've heard of. I possibly played, actually. Definitely not the actual TurboGrafx version, but...
No, you probably played the arcade version.
There might have been an NES version of that,
or
too,
an NES
actually.
version. There definitely was.
Because that's a Gradius-like, which...
Yeah. Oh, I played Ys, the first Ys game.
Oh, yes. It's Y.
Wise.
It looks like Y, yes.
Wise.
Those might be the big... I feel like I've heard more about those games in perpetuity than any others on this list, but Moto Rotor, Power Golf, Ninja Spirit, Ys. How did you say it? Ys?
I always thought it was Ys.
Ys.
Like yeast. No, Ys.
Yeast.
Like
Yeast.
an E.
Okay. Ys. Book 1 and 2, JJ and Jeff, Space Harrier, Military Madness, Chu Man Fu, Psychosis, Bonk's Revenge, Parasol Stars, Kadash.
Parasol Stars, played that.
You got that one too? What's that? Is that about parasols?
Yeah, it's completely it's exactly that actually. It's a game completely about outside and you are avoiding the rain.
Okay, Parasol fans will not be disappointed.
Yeah, it was like a bubble, not Bubble Bobble. It was like one of those. It had like a square box, and you had to jump from platform to platform.
Let me stop you at not Bubble Bobble.
It's Joust. Yeah, it's not Bubble Bobble. So who cares? And the fact that Bubble Bobble is still not on NES.
I know what's going on.
I can't. It's sickening me.
What's going on? Or even just the music. Any game that just has that music.
I had that for my ringtone for the longest time.
You should have. And we all should have.
It's always. I always go back between that and the counting song from Sesame Street from the 70s and 80s.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Such a... I never knew how, like, 70s those songs were. Like, they're so, like somebody's doing the hustle somewhere or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no. 1, 2,
they're
3,
amazing.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
So good.
11, 12.
It's good.
Ooh.
It's even better live.
It is.
A New Adventure Island. Air Zonk.
Adventure
Utopia
Island
2.
Adventure Island.
Is that good?
Was the original one that's a classic.
This
Gotta
is the new
Google.
one.
Yeah.
Is that also a classic?
Don't know. Didn't play that one.
Soldier Blade, Lords of Thunder, Bomberman 93.
I think it's a bummer that Lords of Thunder has nothing to do with Big Trouble in Little China, and that is a deep quote reference if you watch that movie.
Thursdays, or whatever day it comes out this week. Book Club for Movies.
It's not really. But
the rest are 26 PC Engine titles that are in Japanese, which is cool, but I'm not going to try to pronounce. So look out for those on the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Next up, Donkey Kong 3 Wrecking Crew. Join the NES library for Switch Online.
Cool.
So,
that's not Bubble Bobble.
Also not Bubble Bobble. Yes. Good call.
Yeah.
And also Donkey Kong 3, I have limited experience with. Whenever I play it, I'm like, oh, I remember this and I like it. But Wrecking Crew, everybody.
I don't know anything about it.
I feel like people don't. And that thing is a game.
Apparently it is.
I love Wrecking Crew. You
What
should
is
play
it?
Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain it. I haven't seen an update
Is it
or like
two-player?
I believe it is actually. Yes.
Fantastic. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. We'll do
Decided.
One show. We'll just do a NES Classic all show.
Considering how hard it was to get together for one game of Gwent that we thought might happen.
Well, to be
week.
fair,
I had people in town. You're right. It's my fault. I see.
Well, and I also just was not available. So.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Does Beth know you're not available?
Like, she's my ex-girlfriend, and let's leave it at that.
That's come up every week now. Also your wife, also your ex-girlfriend. I like it.
It's not wrong.
Play Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
Also, maybe the big news of the week, actually. This was rumored forever and ever and ever, but the news has broke. It's out. There's info on it. I think there has been some hands-on, too. Nintendo has announced the Switch Lite for, I think, later this year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this news item while I look up the date?
I did see the news item, and I see that the Switch Lite is a more thin version of the Switch.
It's light, you might say.
As you'd expect, I'm looking forward to them putting the Switch on a watch.
September 20th, $199.99 for this thing. It's the big difference is being no detachable Joy-Cons. It's a little bit smaller. It's definitely mobile focused. No word yet on how it's going to, I guess, deal with games that use some of those features that are just not in this thing. Will the games be updated? Will they just not be optimized on this thing? I don't know.
My guess would be you'd have to play it on a dock with extra Joy-Cons.
You can't dock it. This is not dockable.
Well, you can still get extra. I guess you can get extra Joy-Cons.
You can. They have mentioned that, but there's no kickstand.
Does it?
So you can get extra controllers for the thing, but you can't stand it up of its own accord.
Sounds like a terrible idea, Nintendo. I don't know what you're doing right now, but it's certainly not for me, and it'll be for somebody.
No, yeah. It's a hodgepodge, definitely. Like, you can see where they get into some of this because they're removing features, but then there are some features that are, I would imagine, largely software dependent. So it has the capability. Like, there's no reason why they would have to purposefully block it from being able to connect other controllers. So in that case, they're probably just like, well, why would we do that if we don't have to, even if it's not
Does it have an HDMI?
a great idea?
Does it have HDMI port?
I believe it just has a USB-C port, and you cannot get video out of that thing.
Oh, well, so then that entire thing is not meant for playing multiplayer games even a little bit. That is totally meant for a single-player experience. There
is a use case that is a bit truncated, you might say. So, yeah, it's not for me, for sure. It might be for my daughter. She might get some use out of that. I don't know if she's reluctant or just it doesn't enter her head. Like, she never undocks the Switch. I never undock the Switch, but I don't really have a large reason to do that. I feel like if she knew that was a greater possibility, she'd be doing it all the time. I don't know.
Maybe you should pass that knowledge on to her.
Again, teach her the ways.
Well, I mean, you could always do it kind of like in an oblique fashion where you're just sitting on the couch playing it when they walk in going, oh, hey, kids, just sitting here playing the Nintendo Switch mobily, not on the TV while I'm watching The Office.
Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. If they saw me do it, they would learn.
Yeah.
Teach by example, everybody.
That's right.
So I'm going to leave that oddly serious parenting tip just out in the open.
Yeah, don't worry. I didn't teach my child anything, which was the opposite effect. It had the same effect, but opposite.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways.
Thank you for fixing that.
Yeah, the misery loves company.
Another fun note about that, I guess, is they're aware of the D-pad normally on Joy-Cons, and they say the one on the Switch Lite is good.
Sure.
Quote unquote.
I'll believe that D-pad from that D-bag when I can see that.
Who's the D-bag in that sentence?
Yeah, the D-bag is the guy, the rep saying, we'll fix it.
Okay. Glad I did the groundwork on that. That's all I had.
You're so antagonistic towards me.
No, I don't know.
No, I'm fine.
To be. I don't know what's happening.
You know what? This is a good look. It's a better move, I think.
I've had such a good weekend with my birthday, and I just feel
and then
like
I show up.
I'm okay, now you're being antagonistic towards you?
Well, that's your fault.
Wait.
I blame you for all of this. 0HITPOINTS.com.
I'm glad we did this. Honestly, if I had to not be antagonistic for a second, I look forward to this, especially when the week is busy. Because I mean, number one, I don't get to talk to you, and I enjoy talking to you.
Like, it's weird. We don't even text anymore. We're like, and then when we do, it's like we're halfway through it.
Falling asleep, yeah. I figured you had something going on, and I was busy, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Thank you for like. I feel like this. Like, are we both going to the bathroom and being like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah, no, my family is here. I can't talk for very long.
You know, the majority of our texting to each other does take place on a toilet. So,
well, yeah, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, I assume that whenever you're reading anything or communicating with me, you're in the bathroom.
No, if I get a text from you, I hurry and sit on the toilet.
Sure. I'm like pants down just in case.
Yeah,
but...
and I use it. That's not just because I force a habit. Like, it happens.
Oh, so you've got like it's a Pavlovian response now. You're like, oh, I got a text from Matt. I gotta poop.
According to this, we're at 31 minutes, and it shouldn't have been.
Too bad.
We should have ended 3 minutes early. It just goes to show you make goals, you do the best you can. And you email 0HITPOINTS@podcast.com.
Try that. See what happens.
Podcast@0HITPOINTS.com. And tell us what happens when you try the other address.
I'm guessing it'll.
This week, it's
back.
either going to be Upstream Color and or a show about us talking about what movies we watched that weren't the ones we said we were going to, which, if it happens, will be about Spider-Man Far From Home and Glass. So I don't know if that changes your mind any.
Midsummer.
And that's just one?
I think so.
Okay, we'll find out. That's some other day this week, everybody.
Or not.
Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Or not.